Hey, what's up everyone? This is Gerardo from ProsperityLifeBanks.com, and today we're going to talk about how to handle difficult people. So first things first, I just want to tell you that handling difficult people can be tough, especially if you live with them. And I'm pretty sure if you live with difficult people, you know how that is. It can be very hard to even talk to them, to have some kind of experience, some kind of like social thing without, butting heads, right? So let's get into a little bit of how to salvage that, how to save that situation. So never put yourself in a situation where you are gonna have problems with someone, or never put yourself in a situation where these people are obviously so much not like you. And I know this is kind of contradicting something somewhere, but a lot of the times when people are butting heads is because they're butting heads with people who are so not compatible with themselves. So if you're trying to like get along with people who are obviously not right for you, you're gonna be butting heads. Another thing is just to be mindful to know that social situations are pretty tough, right? So you try to make the best of it. Try to like just roll with the punches. If they throw you curveballs, try to just be solid, be cool about it. Understand that people have problems. Life is hard, right? Somewhat. It's easy, it's hard. We try to make the best of it, and life is pretty challenging as it is. So really try to be cool with people. Understand that everyone is going through their own situations. Everyone's going through their own little problems that they are unaware of or they are aware of. So subconsciously, people have a lot of problems buried inside them. That's why when I go around, I do my best to have compassion and understandings. I do my best to spread compassion, and that's because I understand people on a very, very, very deep level, more so than the average person would ever understand people. But that's besides the point. The point is, we're all people. We're all trying to have fun. We're all trying to get along. We're all trying to get our needs met. We're all trying to get more out of life. And that's what the whole human experience is all about. How to get more. How to get a better quality of living. How to get better experiences. That's essentially what the whole human condition is about. So just think about it, like, people from all backgrounds, you don't know their childhood. The very first time you meet someone, you're meeting like kind of like the final version of that person in that moment of time. Obviously people update after that, but that's besides the point. So just try to understand that people are just like you. They're going through stages in life. They're going through different things in life. They have different backgrounds, different understandings, different experiences. Some people don't take the time to self-educate themselves, whatever the reasons are, and just have understandings. Alright? And sometimes what people say are not wrong. You'll be surprised. A lot of the times when people are giving you insight, there's a lot of truths as to what they're saying. It's just that I guess you could make the argument that how they're saying it is not correctly, it's not polite, it's not gentle. And in fact, that's probably what a lot of the drama really is. People don't really argue about content. People are really arguing, or they get into arguments about how it's delivered. Really, it's the how and not the what. The how is how people get into arguments. Like you can talk about anything if it's done in a way that's polite, ego-friendly, and gentle. And I know this sounds kind of like a little kind of politically correct, right? Where it's like, wait a minute, this is kind of promoting nice talk, polite talk. Yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. I'm kind of understanding what that is all about as well. Whereas like when I was younger, I remember when I was younger, I was like, man, these old people are lame. They're doing small talk, talking about the weather. They don't say what they mean. They're boring. They don't say anything. And then I got older, and you realize that you almost like you can't really have conversations with people sometimes where it's like we can't talk about money because some people get offended by that. We can't talk about sex because some people have religion. We can't talk about politics because people are so spread out in politics. We can't talk about certain things. So hey, guys, let's talk about the weather. Let's talk about sports. Let's talk about the things that are just small talk. And I found myself later like, oh, I get it now, and I really really get it now. Like that's why now I'm so cool with small talk. I'll just talk, small talk. Hey, let's talk about the weather. Let's talk about sneakers. Let's talk about cars. And I was one of those people, mind you, I was one of those people that if you talk small talk to me, I thought you were lame. I thought you were so lame. Now I accept all forms of conversations, small talk, big talk, because I accept it as all part of the big experience of life. Alright, now again going back to the point, a lot of things that we get into when we get into arguments, it's more so the how it's presented. Because the subconscious mind and the ego, when they receive a contrasting opinion, a contrasting belief, you may feel some dissonance, some disharmony, and you may interpret that or you may associate that new idea as an attack to you. So let's say I don't know you are a Democrat and I'm a Republican or something, and I'm like, hey, that is wrong, and I'm trying to tell you that my way is correct, or something of that sort, and then you're like, no, and you start to defend your position because now you have this kind of idea that I'm trying to attack you in some kind of way, or what I'm saying is in disagreement with what you're saying. And sometimes, what's interesting is when people talk and talk and talk, they're not really disagreeing as much as that they're like just not saying it in a way that's speaking each other's language. Conversation is very much like tennis. Alright? It's like, I throw the ball here, and then you throw the ball back at me, and then I throw it back at you, and and you throw ball, I throw ball, and they just kind of go back and forth, back and forth. So it's very, very much like that. To handle difficult people, sometimes you just need to be easygoing with them, understand where they're going through. You can set boundaries. I'm not. How do I say this? I do encourage people to set boundaries. For me personally, I'm such an understanding person that setting boundaries to me is almost kind of strange, because it's like, and I think this is like when you have like such an enlightened brain, you don't really like, you kind of forget about boundaries sometimes, because you're just so cool with everyone. Because for me, I'm just so understanding that I sometimes forget about boundaries. Because some people are like, they will try to like throw jabs at you and see how much they can get away from you. And I know this like ahead of time, but I try not to make it like about that. I want to like just have fun, go with the experience, and just just talk and talk and talk and just have a good time. So when I see these people throwing jabs, and they think they're being slick, and sometimes I wonder like, wait, do they think they're like being slick? And you see, the problem in this kind of case is that if they're doing that, and I'm in the kind of situation where like I cannot interpret it as like they're trying to throw jabs at me. Otherwise, it puts me in a losing frame. So this is why those type of people who kind of attack your boundaries, or they're not only are they challenging your boundaries, but they put you in the lose situation. Because what happens here is now you're having to suspect what this person's intentions are. So it's like, oh, this person's just trying to cheat me. And when you start to think in those terms, it gets you in that train of thought of negativity. And you see how this can be very, very really destructive. It can be very, very destructive when you're hanging out with people who are putting you in that position where, hey, what are you trying to get away with? To make human situations more in harmony, it's easier just to hang out with like-minded people, people who are similar, who have similar interests, similar goals, or some sort of common ground. Kind of like a club where people go there and the environment is already pre-established for that club. Like basketball club, everyone likes basketball and they talk about basketball, and it's a win-win for everybody. It's similar within our relationships as well. It's just that we don't know what each other's boundaries are. We just assume certain things, and then we assume certain things are okay, certain things are not okay. So generally speaking, like with meaningful and real relationships, you're supposed to have a kind of a setup, so to speak, where it's like we have these interests, we have these goals, and I guess you kind of make up the game as you go. Think of it like I don't know, like you're playing like a card game, right? Where it's like we play this game and we follow the rules. Conversation is kind of like that, or not conversation. Human interaction, human relationship is very much like that, where these are the checklist, these are the X list. These are the to-dos, these are not to-dos. You do this, I'll be happy. You don't do this, or if you do this other thing, I'm not gonna be happy with you. Now, I know this doesn't sound like very fun, but that's pretty much what it is, right? So just to sum up this podcast, guys, try to be understanding of people's situations. Try to forgive them if they do you wrong, or maybe you do them wrong, and then you go back and you own the fact that you done it wrong, and then you just make improvements, right? Because we're all going through the same experience. We're all trying to make this life fun, happy, positive, etc. We're trying to all be in harmony. So try to just have understandings and compassion, and forgive yourself, forgive others, and always be making improvements. Another thing that I want to tell you guys is check out the resources down below. These resources will help you in every single aspect of your life, whether it be emotionally, whether it be intellectually, whether it be getting more confidence, getting more freedom in your life. If you want to heal your past, have, I don't know, a 200 IQ, make more money even, have the confidence to start a business, have the confidence to actually start conversations, have people chase you around because they feel that you are someone that is worthy and deserving, and they chase you rather than you chasing them. Please check the links down below. You'll be glad you did. Anyways, guys, this has been Gerardo from ProsperityLifeHacks.com. If you have any more further questions, please feel free to ask me down at ProsperityLifeHacks.com. Go to my content and send me an email. I personally read all my emails. I'm getting hundreds and thousands of emails on a day-to-day basis with new questions. So guys, please feel free to ask me more questions. Thank you, and bye bye now.